Welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I'm your host, Tasha Ray. We're back with some of your favorites to discuss dating and relationship expectations versus reality. What's up, guys?
What's up? I'm Kevin, 38, Capricorn, Virgo, Libra. New York City.
Mark, old enough, DMV. Oh, I can't believe I said that. DC.
Yo, it's Drew, 37, Jersey. You already know.
All right, and just like we do at every episode, we're going to pull questions from the dating and relationship party game, Secrets of the Opposite Sex, which you can download on the Apple App Store and play from home. So the first question I have for the fellas is, what are your expectations when entering a relationship? And how have these expectations aligned with reality? Are y'all a little delusional? Or y'all just in reality, rooted in reality?
Oh, that was a question.
Episodes would let you know I'm a little bit delusional. But basically what you sold me on, like if we were dating and you were doing these things that caught my attention and got us to the point where we're actually in a relationship now, I expect those. I don't expect you to stop dating me, as I won't stop dating you. How you got me is how you're gonna keep me.
I'm delusional. I am gonna hold you. It's not based in reality at all. I got like in my head, my expectation is this wonderful fairy tale situation where can't wait just to be with you. And do you want to go to the movies? Yeah, I suck the butter from your fingertips. Eat the popcorn. Like this is the the expectation. And I'm thinking that okay, we're gonna be a team and all that. The reality has been a little different. The constant reassurance is cool. I enjoy doing that. But even with the constant reassurance, there's still, at least sometimes in my opinion, there's been like room for doubt on the other parties for like, who is this girl? Do you love? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm with you right now. What I told you this morning, like that you were beautiful. When you had that bonnet on, you still had the crust in your eyes and all of that. You know what I mean? And I meant that from the heart. You know I meant it because I said it while you was brushing your teeth. Like with the mic, I was like, "You so beautiful." She was like, "Oh." So like these are the things. The challenge for that, just understand like the time consumption. Because as a person who's usually single, right, and I'm still single right now, so I'm wrong. So like when you have somebody with you, now all of a sudden you got to like cut back on those other things, and then now it's the engaging, the conversations, the thing, and people typically want your undivided attention. So I can't just sit here doing this, playing like and then what happened? Like it's a little bit more effort. So I guess long story short, it's not the rainbow that we thought it was gonna be. It's a little more work.
Don't have no expectations. Then there's no disappointments. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You got to read a person for what they are and watch them as they go through their highs, their lows, how they change. And if you rocking with it, you rocking with it. If not, but having an expectation of what they're going to be, that's only going to disappoint me. So, yeah, I gave those up.
Such a gloomy thought. Yikes.
Why? I mean, no, how many times you set yourself up for disappointment because you expected a person to be some type of way?
I mean, but you hope at least one day that it's actually going to work out. It's going to be worth it.
But now you living on the dream of maybe what they can be. So you're looking at potential.
And that's the fun part of delusions. You don't have to sell you to me. I've sold you to me.
I'm saying you sound like a Commanders fan. Like you go into each season with no expectations.
That's a fact. That's 1000%. No, actually, I go into a season with the expectation of it's going to be a bad season. Then you pleasantly surprised when it's still a bad season.
Does that parallel with your approach to a relationship? You see what I'm saying?
Because they ain't got a good one.
I mean, if you go into a relationship with the negative aspect of like I'm not gonna have expectations, and then somebody goes down the path of what you like, and they're learning you and your behavior, and you're doing the same, and then they pleasantly surprise you, great. But if you set up an expectation of what you want them to be, and they're just not that person, you gotta have the long-term goal of like, okay, well, how do I communicate my wants and they communicate theirs, and we can see if we can meet each other in the middle. But like I said, not for me. I gotta say no for the expectations.
But would that not set up like a deeper trap? Because it's kind of like if you said, I have no expectations. I'm looking forward. Not disappointed.
No, remember, I remember I tagged in on the ones saying, basically be the person you present yourself to be. But I also know that that's not going to stay the same. So they may be hitting that mark for like six months or whatever, but that's going to fall off because everybody gets into that comfort stage. They're going to bring their representative, and then
But are you
6 months later, there's the bag.
But are you like secretly looking for that part to fall off?
No. Am I looking for it to fall off? No, I just know it's a possibility. So it's not a surprise. It's not going to catch me off guard, and I'll be like, oh, well, damn, what happened? I didn't see that coming. So I expect the bad things to be what they're going to be, and the good things to be what they're going to be, I guess.
Okay.
What are some unrealistic expectations that people have had of you while dating or in a relationship?
Oh Lord, you got time? Get a watch.
Do our podcast, right?
Y'all go ahead. Y'all, start it over. Quick here.
There are many.
Not many.
Go ahead. Mind reader.
Being on my side of the spectrum.
Bank of America.
Being on my side of the spectrum, and what people love to, they want you to play into the stereotypes. They want you to be, I gotta be a thug, I gotta be BBC, I gotta choke you, but I gotta be gentle at the same time. And yet I gotta wake up in the morning and take your mama to church, but I also gotta be willing to run to your aid anytime you start any problems with somebody else. And it's just like, in the words of Candy, the pile up. Like, it's just, it never stops. And if you hit one, they automatically jump to their delusions like, he don't want, I know this hit next. And then that don't hit, and it's kind of like, wait, that's nothing of what I wanted. And now we both wasted time.
It was a vibe.
Never get back, all because I showed you who I was. You already had this perception of who you wanted me to be. And now that I'm not living up to that, it's dead.
Now you mad.
And you mad. And yeah.
Hey, look, ain't nobody a mind reader. I say that's the biggest one. I think a lot of times, from my experience, I felt like people expect you to be able to read their mind, which is why I always say communication is the biggest thing. Because if you tell me something, I'll probably do it. If I'm rocking with you, I got you. I'm gonna do whatever needs to be done. So, but if you ain't expressing yourself, if you got a need that you're not saying needs to be filled, and you're not describing that clearly, and then you look back on it and you be like, oh, I gave him hints. Well, what the fuck is a hint for? Like, speak. Like, good ubu. Like, let's go. Talk about it. What else? Let's go. It's just bad, yo. It's all bad. I mean, anything you can think of, you know what I'm saying? Expectations of, like, I think I had somebody one time, like, I sold a house and they were like, you're not gonna give me no money. I'm like, well, it's my house. Man.
What?
I got no money for you for selling my house. What else? Shoot, like, people like expect you to, like, their kids suddenly supposed to get the same treatment that your kids get, and y'all not even in like a full-fledged
Relationship.
Yeah, like, I think I heard somebody say it best. They said they had like a $10 or a $20 limit or something like that on a date, or maybe $50 or something. And somebody was like, why wouldn't you spend any more money? He's like, I don't know you. So I mean, the expectations start from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like, the craziest things, like the first time you take somebody else, you're supposed to give them this great experience of a date. Okay, well, they gonna walk away like, oh, the date was amazing, but you don't even remember shit about me. Like, talk to somebody, get to know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a friendship.
Yeah, that is kind of funny because I saw this post this girl put up. She was just like, yo, I had the best day I've ever had last night with this guy, and it was so amazing, so well thought out. He did all these things, but I'm not going on another date. Like, though I understand, like, the date could have been amazing and the chemistry just wasn't there, because I've experienced that.
Then it wasn't an amazing date. Why lie to yourself?
I don't understand.
That is a lie. You are lying to yourself. You tell yourself you had an amazing date, but there was no chemistry. The whole purpose of the date is for the guy, not the experience. Do you know how much shit I've never done for a woman, but like the things that I would do if they had just got past a certain point? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my father was that. He was something else. But I'll say this much. I remember the early age. He was like, man, don't give a girl no money. Don't buy shit for him. And he went down this whole line, all these things. And I was like, that was a little harsh when I look back on it. But what he was getting at was like, take your time before you start, you just spending all this money on somebody. What's the point? You're going to be taking people out for the rest of your life, dating forever. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the streets to the day he died. So if he could have that money back, woo, Lord. Damn. Hey, Pop. If y'all knew my father, you Tasha know. Hey, that man, boy. Woo. Oh, boy, I tell you.
Wow. I say this. I think the most unrealistic expectation, or just the unrealistic part, is having the ability, like expecting me to be able to control the behavior of other people. I can't do that. And I think that was one of the weirdest things that I have really encountered in a relationship, where I got to somehow control the actions and behaviors of not just women who I know in a platonic sense, but also like women I've never met before, but just happen to be in the general vicinity. Women that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is back, I'm gonna go back to undergrad because it's something that stood out. I remember one time, man, it was like anytime a girl would, because I remember like Facebook, like old Facebook, like regular like Facebook when it was still cool.
When it was still real Facebook.
Exactly, right. And you had the wall, and people could sign your wall and all of that, right? Well, women would say something about, man, listen,
you almost went to MySpace. God damn.
man, I was getting in trouble for women writing on my wall. Who's this? Why did she say that? Why did she lose little heart eye, or not the heart eyes, the little star? What is it? The star or whatever. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, because they was doing stuff with symbols back then. Want no emoji? You had to make your own emoji.
What is this?
You know what they're gonna tell you, right? You know what they would say though, right? You made it available for them to feel that they were comfortable enough to do that.
See, that was the argument, right? So I'm like, I don't even know. Like, what do you mean? And then on top of that, it was the status of the girls too, right? Because we in undergrad at the time, right? So some of these girls was like part of like Golden Delight. Some of them was like Golden Delight is like the dancers on campus in the A&T band, right? So like, do you remember Zoe Saldana in Drumline? Like the girls she was dancing with, that's Golden Delight. Right. So go sort of like, yeah, but that was Golden Delight. So like think of like the real life version of those girls. You know what I'm saying? Those are my homies. My girl at the time was like, you ain't tried name, they ain't like nothing going on. I don't believe you because they all pretty and they do this. I'm like, all these insecurities is crazy. But so yeah, it was that. And then it would be like sometimes where it would be we would be like in public and I had to answer questions like, do you know this girl? I look over, I'm like, nah, I never met her before a day in my life. Why does she keep looking over here? She got eyes? I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I think that was the most unrealistic expectation situation I can think of in my head. Other stuff's kind of, pretty basic. Women want you to have all the money in the world and all that. I'm saying most women don't really be wanting that from me. I noticed that, but the insecurity about other people's actions is, man, I take the cake from me.
Yeah. Can't control what other people do, but you can control how you react to it. So
that's facts.
What role does media play in shaping your expectations about relationships? And how can we differentiate between media portrayals and real life dynamics?
Ain't no difference. Media drives all of it. Media drives all of it. Media drives all the expectations. Listen, let me tell you something. Let's be honest. Come on now. Do you think the expectations in dating would be where they are now if not for the influences? I mean, $200 dates. We never had these conversations when I was young.
This is fair.
These
you couldn't afford it when you was younger.
That's true, but listen, I'm still saying that it wasn't even part of the conversation. People still can't afford it. They got to do it because why? They girls saw it on Instagram. If you can't even take a woman to certain places anymore, I'm not saying all women are like this. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying there's a level of influence, right? If the place you were taking this woman is not Instagram tag worthy, she's not feeling it. All right, that's why they started dissing Cheesecake Factory, and I'm gonna go on record and defend Cheesecake Factory. All right, listen, that pasta platter be hitting. All right, now y'all.
Hey, that jambalaya is cranking, yo.
I'm trying to tell you,
bruh.
It is.
I knew Cheesecake Factory was gonna come up.
The disrespect for Cheesecake Factory simply because it's not oppressive when you tag it on Instagram. But again, you know, you got to be at Nobu, or you got to be at you know what I'm saying, Fogo de Chao. I like those places. I do. I really enjoy those places. But at the same time, it's like, if there's this been narrative that's been put out, particularly, I'm gonna call Black people out on this one, because like I know this white folk been having the same issue in our community, where it's like, yo, you gotta do this specific, do this kind of thing, and hit this specific metric. Otherwise, it ain't, you know, you ain't nothing, or it's the bare minimum, or whatever it is. I hate that, the bare minimum. So, now I've also noticed though that every woman is not affected by this, and it's not like lockstep, because I've also known that real life can differ very much from what we see on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the case. But I am saying that there is a level of pressure that is put in some of these people's mind, where it's like, you got to be doing this, hitting this number before you actually do anything that's worthwhile. And I think that's yeah, that's has a big impact. I say that.
I agree with what you said, Drew. Like, that makes complete sense, because like now this level of expectation that wasn't there, you know, because even like when we were dating, like younger years, like 20s, like that expectation wasn't so crazy. Like, it wasn't
Cheesecake was hit.
like as delusional and outrageous as it is now. Like, it was more about getting to know the person, as opposed to what can this person do for me on the first date, or how, I mean, well, don't get me wrong, because I did have some girlfriends that absolutely went on first dates to eat. So that's
Wow.
always been a thing. I mean, we was broke. We was in college. We was broke. So that's always been a thing. But I feel like the emphasis now is about the experience that somebody else can create for you, as opposed to who is the person. like
Y'all set the mold though. I mean, everything comes from the things that y'all are looking for. So at the end of the day, it's like, I
do
think man, what are men doing it for? You think men are out here like, oh yeah, let me go do whatever it is that you got to do for, because she don't like it.
Uh,
Like, make that make sense.
I'm gonna push back on that one, because
Really?
I feel like some of these men out here want to be bad bitches.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that part, but I'm just saying, still the women drive the mold though.
But they're only going there not for the girls, but because they saw Jay-Z was there, or they're following
yeah
some dude with money there. So it's just kind of like, now I'm gonna take my girl there so she could post to say that we've been here, and now I look like the man. I look like I got all this money, and
yeah
that's no.
Yeah, but them dudes normally gonna be on their own doing it with their boys, and they can do it big without having to have a female on their arm, and then they can bring them into the section or whatever.
That's the problem. Why are there no females around? Why are there no?
I'd rather go out with 7 females than 7 dudes any day.
It's just right. So it's just kind of like, I grew up in an era where it was like, man, you'll probably have your homeboy, 3 tops, 3 dudes tops, and gotta be more girls. But
Absolutely.
I'm looking at a cluster of 14 niggas in one section with maybe 3 to 4 girls.
They had to pay for the section.
Person that's there, and I'm like, is it me? Like, is it me?
Bottles is expensive.
So I have to blame both parties in the sense of pushing this social media expectation, because I know people that go and pull out their whole check just so they can do this on social media to feel like they got some money. Why? Now you're setting expectations, so when you do find somebody, nigga, I followed you because you was showing money, and now I'm talking about something. Let's go to Nobu. Let's go to over here, over there, and you talking about something. Nah, you just don't want to get some. Just don't want to get some fast food. No, you just don't want to go back to the crib. No. I want to spend the money in your accounting. You set that expectation. The reality was, I saw it. You set the expectation that you had it. I'm here.
yeah
So I gotta blame both of them for that.
Yeah, I feel like the media feeds it on both sides. Like, I feel like even same sex, like guys want to keep up with other guys. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of how it becomes.
Yeah, but men always been in competition with each other. Men have always been in competition with each other. That's just the driving force.
Right. But I'm saying like, so that's what guys bring into relationships too. And then maybe how these dates and all these things have gotten so extravagant and over the top and all this, because
I mean, I got a little bit of bigger. I'm looking from a couple floors up, and yeah, nah, the money aspect has always been there. So there was always the pocket of women that were like, they were dealing with guys that had a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? That's always been the case. And certain dudes would be like, oh, I can't get at her because I ain't got the money to make it happen. But as far as like saying been a shift, it's just more. I think it's more now where there are like women that were not at the caliber to get that type of treatment, got caught up in the mix, and then they got a little bit of taste of it, and then they thought it was for them, and now all of a sudden they feel like they up here, but you not. He was having fun. He was just doing his thing, and you was something to do for a period of time. But it's just like everybody thinks it's for everything is not for everybody. Like spandex ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like tights ain't supposed to be on everybody's body. You know what I'm saying? So Teletubbies ain't supposed to be rocking like So let's and dudes the same way. Like when you see a dude in the club and he got on some skinny jeans,
oh boy,
little fit T-shirt, and this bama looking like a lowercase B waist up, and I don't know what he is waist down. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
like social media, as far as expectations, has turned people to expect they are delusions of grandeur. That's what it
for sure.
People don't know who the hell they are. They out here thinking they somebody. Go over there in that little corner and just do your thing.
I feel especially bad for like the younger, like say like the teenagers, ones coming up in like early 20s. Woo! Like
shit, younger than that.
Of grandeur, like are serious within them.
Entitlement.
Yeah, like even when they do those street interviews, like listen, always just crack me up. It's always a good kiki, so I enjoy watching them.
These babies is so dumb. They
make a month, and they say something outrageous like 6 figures a month. Like outrageous stuff. Like they don't even know how to gauge things, but they have that expectation. They just know it's got to be something crazy and outrageous because that's what they see on the social media, and that's what they think life is. So
back in the day, you know what it was? It was selling drugs. That's all it was. Back in the day, selling drugs. If you saw somebody was getting it, right, and everything they had, you're like, well, I thought I had to go to school to get there. Now it's like, oh, he can do it like that. Oh, let me see what that's about. That was just everybody want to be on social media, making money doing something.
Well, you scamming now.
Yeah,
scamming now.
I ain't gotta go to school.
Look, the scammers are the ones setting the expectations because every Valentine's Day they go out for their girls. And you ever see them girls posting gifts, man? And I'll be like, bro, how am I supposed to compete with that, bro? Like because I do
save up.
I do well, but I can't compete with scammers, bro. It'd be like 3 Louis Vuitton bags. It'd be Chanel. Then it'd be like a wad of cash, rose petals, all that, like all grouped together. The pictures be bomb. I'd be like, bro, and then your girl wanted to be treated like that. Like, look, baby, I can start getting some people with this credit card scam, risk going to jail. I don't know how that's really gonna look on my record, but like, I think they messed that up. I will say though, I'm gonna say this to push back on my earlier point, and it's kind of almost debunk what I said. Is that a lot of my date ideas come from Instagram because I'll be flipping through like the explore page and I see the IG baddies and they tag where they went. And I'm like, ooh, that place look nice. Let me look it up and save it. So when it's time for me to go on a date, I'm put this on the list. I got a whole list in my Google Maps called date spots. Like I'm dead serious. I got a whole list of them right in LA, New York, like where am I at? I already know where to look. Hey girl, you trying to go to such and such? Like, oh my gosh, you're so cultured. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
And you fucked that up now.
I still want to go with me, man. Come on, next. They still want to be with the kid, you know what I'm saying? The kid, I'm almost told. Anyway.
Oh my God. What are the most common misconceptions men have about what relationships or marriage should be?
It's crazy. I'm not speaking for me, but I'm gonna speak to an idea that's more pervasive in our community than I thought it would. And this is largely thanks to Clubhouse for exposing me to this during the pandemic. A lot of men, especially a lot of men in our community, think that relationships are meant for them to rule a woman like a king. I realized that I did not know that was a thing, but clearly it is. Like over and over again, yo, she gonna submit every conversation about date. That S word come up. submit,
Oh, yes.
submission, submit. She gonna submit, and then the other part is she gonna submit to your program or follow your program. It's almost like they want somebody like to tag along and like almost serve them in a way, but they don't like. And the idea that kind of goes along with that is like, okay, while I'm doing all this, I'm paying for everything, so she should be grateful. And what's the other thing that they say? As long as I'm paying for it, then it's cool. But she needs to be able to submit and blah blah blah. And that always confused me because I was like, yo, where are we finding these girls that don't like you? Cause I ain't never been able like to date a woman who didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that don't like me, I typically just kind of stay away from them. You feel me? But they the way they present the information to be like, oh man, yo, you don't know, girl, she always combative and all of that. I'm like, bro, I don't think that girl like you, man. Like that ain't like that. That's just never been my experience as far as combative. I've had women who were a little jealous of the attention I get from other women, but that's okay, kind of tell them territory, but not what they be describing. But I think that idea of that a man is looking for it's almost like a secretary or someone to be subservient to him in like a king role. I think that's more pervasive than I ever thought than I ever would have imagined. So yeah.
Very prevalent. Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand where they get those ideas from. Like, did your daddy treat your mama like that? Like, do you talk to your mama like that? Because the whole thing is you had to seen that somewhere. I don't know why you're out here believing men who don't have women of what a woman should be like. Like, how can you preach on something you're not experiencing?
See, I don't think that they have seen it. And most because I don't think that that's what they've experienced. A lot of times, guys want the traditional benefits, but they don't want to do the work. Like if you want
What are they? What are they?
household, that means that means you got to be able to afford the whole household because that
Wait,
means the other person stays in the house. That's
define
their
them.
job. The
Okay, but then what? Like break that down.
No, but I'm saying I feel like that's where
This
guys
is what you
today.
bring into the table conversation.
No, I'm just saying that
Oh, because that's
what
he was
no,
going.
not to bring it to the table. Like when
Okay.
you say as far as they're the traditional sense of a wife at home, what does that mean as far as for the context of this conversation?
Right. So that's what. So what I mean is a lot of guys, some that I've met and some like just as friends or whatever, and I try to understand their mindset. It's just like they want the benefits that traditional old school relationships had, but they don't want to show up as that man showed up as. Like not saying that everything was great, but he provided for the household. No one else had to work outside the household. So okay, you could go and kind of I don't want to say like demand that respect, but okay, because you're taking care of your household as you should. But guys today, I find they want you to be submissive. They want you to take care of the house. They want you to wash their clothes, cook for them, the dishes, take care of the whole house. But you also want me to go and work outside the house just as much as you work outside the house. So we both gone from the house equal amount of times, bringing in equal amount of money. But you still want me to come home and the whole household is just on me. That's not how that works. You know what I mean? Because
Question.
if I'm helping you do your job, which is making the money, you need to help me do my job, which is take care of the home. If that's what we're doing with this traditional stuff. But I feel like the whole concept is all messed up. Like they want to cherry pick it, what works for them to make their points. And I think that's kind of where they've lost it in today's society. They want to cherry pick it and say like I should be the king because you were born with a penis. No, who wants to be submissive to somebody who can't lead, who can't manage finances, who can't show respect, but you want to get respect? I feel like men just have it so twisted. Like you deserve to be a king and put on a pedestal because you were born a man, but nothing in your actions are manly.
Okay, so what if they are? And women, as a woman, you don't even know what you're looking at. You don't recognize it.
Who don't?
How many women do you think don't even
That you're talking to.
right? But I'm saying, so how many women today would recognize a man that came to the table as far as saying like, I'm looking for you to be my helpmate, right? So this and let's go off what the scenario you just presented, right? So he wants her to do all those things. So basically, he said, you know what, you don't have to work. Now, in my opinion, most women still gonna be like, hold up, nah, because they've been taught today based off of like the expectation through social media, like we're talking about, that no, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a boss. I'm gonna run this shit. Why is a woman when if I were to go back in time and be a woman back in the old, I don't know how far back you want to go, but as far as like you had a dude and as long as he wasn't beating the brakes off you, he was taking care of home or whatever. Yeah, I mean time you just had the episode where they was talking about cheating, right? And what's acceptable. I don't know. So the man's going to work, he's taking care of all the bills, he expects you to be home, he's not beating the brakes off you, he's not verbally abusing you, he's treating you great. His expectations are you take care of the home, you support me, you make sure that everything I need to do outside the home creates life for you great inside the home. And to splash in the last episode, he kind of running some shit on the side, but you have no clue about it. What's the problem?
Well, again, I think that comes down to choosing the right kind of woman, because there are women who I want to work, I want to support myself, I don't want to be dependent on a man. Because if we're talking about times like then, it sounds great, but they didn't have a voice, they couldn't do anything, everything that they had to do was dependent upon a man. You need some money, that man got to put it in your hand.
No, but we saying take that scenario.
Go out here and do what I want to do when I want to do it. So I would like that.
Take that scenario from back then, bring it to now. No one's accepting the deal.
And I'm not gonna say that either, because I will say that a lot of women that I know, especially at my age, as we've gotten older, a lot of women are just kind of like, working was fun, but I'm ready for that soft life. Like a lot of the girlies are ready.
But you can't go out here and have an MB. You can't go have look. You can't go run the street, right? And then act the fool and do whatever you want to do and be like, I'm living my best life when you at your most marketable time. And then at the end, because guys appreciate over time. Most women don't, in all honesty, like keep it real.
Oh my.
No, think about it. If you're a woman if you had kids in like your early 20s, right? Say in your from 23 to 31, you had 3 kids, right?
Oh gosh. Okay.
That seems crazy.
No,
that's normal. That was a generous stretch in time. Shit. I thought I was giving away too much.
All right. Okay.
No, but think about it. So you got that stretch in time where you was hitting, right? You was killing them, or you was either you the one that had the kids, or you the one that stayed in the streets. But you can't have that if you had that life of the kids and then you had a shitty dude because you chose wrong in the beginning, right? Because y'all do the choosing. We pick, but y'all choose to say yes or no. So once you say to a guy like, yeah, he's the one or whatever, and you go down that road and then you find out he's a piece of shit, right? And then you turn around, now you back out in the world trying to start over again. You're not a high commodity. But the majority of women, and I know they still be rolling like they was who they were back then. Men get older and they still have women that are in their 20s that want them
for their money,
for whatever shit. Sometimes they for their money.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I don't know, from the other side of the coin, like as a man, if you progressing through time, you have more years of playtime ahead of you to where you bring more to the table, you're more mature, you're more financially stable, and then pop-ups are being pushed hard, right? Social media once again pushing the old guys like on the youngest. So it's nothing changed. So you can't live if you're gonna live your life wilding out as far as like in your early years, you can't expect to be in the same position you were back then. You can't have that expectation.
But it's not even about wilding out or something, because I have friends who are in very like professional careers, like lawyers and doctors, who only did that because like, and once they get into the field, they just like, that's what they had to do to get around the caliber of man that they wanted to marry.
They passed up good dudes every year of their life from the moment they were on the block, as far as like looking like, oh, she's somebody I would be great and we could build a life together. They passed dudes up along the way for 10, 15 years. And then the answer at the end is, I was on my career shit. No, you had you was in here, you was fucking for them 15 years. And I'm pretty sure you was fucking somebody regularly for them 15 years for a certain period of time. You just chose to say, I'm going to focus on my career. So, it's not the same. It's no different than dudes. It's no different than a dude who hoe around for his whole life and misses both. You know what I'm saying? I got a buddy of mine, he
But
ain't never
someone
get married.
want to focus on their career. But again, like, but to me, again, that boils down to the person. If you want somebody who is like career cent, like their life is about, I'm focused on my career, you know, that's taking precedent over everything, then you know that's who you choosing. Now, if you know you got somebody that been out here and she just a hot pocket, like she just, you know, been in the streets, you want to be mixy on the scene, want to be seen, you know that too. It's all about who you choose to engage with, because women are different. You know, it's not just the same across the
Yeah,
board.
but we still. But I mean, if you push it from the standpoint of saying, as far as a man who's saying he wants to be king of the, he's king of his castle, and you know his wife is supposed to submit to him and all that. I mean, that's on a financial place. Once a guy's in a financial situation, a lot of women will say they want that life where they want a guy that's taking care of them, but they don't look at the whole aspect of it. I don't think you're looking at the big. They don't look at the big picture overall. And most that I've seen go that road and then end up on the other side of like, that's not really what I want. And while there are the ones that are successful, have great marriages, you know, shout out to them. But the majority of people out here don't know how to be either side of that coin. Be the man that's quote unquote leading the relationship, and which is bullshit because everybody know women run that shit. You know, it goes to, like you said, the whole point of it is that they've been conditioned to have expectations that are unreal on both sides.
I think if you women really wanted the soft life that you claimed you would, you stop getting your hair done so nice. Go ahead and get you a stiff wig and call it a day. Because those are the women that get they get the rich white man.
Yeah, you see the happy ones, they don't be what you expect.
Listen, stiff wig, soft life. That's the motto. All right,
The stiff wigs
get,
get you a white man. That's
you know what I mean?
all that do.
But I
The
will
black
say,
man is gonna walk down the street. Like men have evolved just as long with women, so these beauty standards have gone. You know when a girl got on a lace front, the baby hair started getting real extravagant when they got the lace front on.
Extravagant.
Take a woman a black woman with a stiff wig to your mama house, because your mama gonna talk about it. Your whole family gonna talk about it.
See, and mama lonely too. See, birds of a feather.
Okay, it's not gonna give you that comfortable approval that I see you, nephew. He gonna be like, I'm going over here. I don't know what the hell Drew done brought up in his house with this stiff wig. And figuring out what's that. Even they are going to inquire about a wig.
if the lace ain't melted, I can't mess with it. But look, the
All
thing
right.
is,
You just sit right there with that band on.
I,
I'm gonna help
None of
you.
y'all know this. That's funny.
I think women that do
Because
it,
they be coming off. They be coming off.
Okay.
they got to be melted. I don't want to see the lace.
How would you handle it if your partner's expectations differ significantly from yours?
That's easy,
Disappear. I might ghost them. I mean, for all honesty, just like ghost Casper, Swayze.
Yeah, when you say partner though, how far in are we?
It's your partner, so y'all together.
But how we get that? How we become partners if we totally on opposite sides?
Sometimes people change. Just because you start this way don't mean you finish that way.
Oh, really? Tell us more. That's why I'm asking the questions.
I guess I perceive the question different. I guess it was like, since we're partners, we're together already. Maybe
Right.
something that I don't know.
Debating about.
Yes, or like political views. You thought I was this. Religious views. You thought I was this, and I expect you to be that. Or how you move through life. I didn't know that. Because some of these questions.
A lot of people got a big surprise during the Trump era.
Huh.
Well,
No BS.
a person and then
Okay.
tell us.
Like, really? Like, you be all over here. You be in the hood. You be doing this. Every person you know is black, and you voted for Trump. Didn't expect that. So that's how I perceive the question.
I got you. I heard it wrong. My bad. I ain't ghosting nobody. I just want y'all to know that I'm not that terrible person.
Yes, you are. I don't
I
believe.
would not. I ghost people. Listen, I ghost you early on. Like the second I feel there's no interest, I'm gonna go ahead and dip. But like other than that, like it's a disappearing act. Like now you see me, like now you don't. But like you know what I'm saying? But like I don't know. But when you're talking about like a partner and y'all together and y'all we locked in and then all of a sudden some things don't align and that sort of thing, we gotta have a conversation. We gotta start figuring out, okay, what is it you gotta talk. Like tell me what you want, what you really, really want in the words of Spice Girls. But what I'm saying is like that That was a profound statement, though, and that's really the key to conflict in a
What you
relationship.
bitching for?
Shout out to Sporty. Shout out to Sporty and Scary and Ginger and all.
I went for more LL Cool J Toto.
Tell me what you want from me.
Oh, you went
That
there?
too.
Oh.
That too. Oh, what I'm saying is that you gotta have a conversation, like you said, even when it comes down to something political, even when it comes down to something like you just thought were like normal, like even scientific. Because once this, I'm trying to tell you, my world changed, my list changed once we got hit with this COVID stuff, man. Because I didn't know this many women didn't, black women in particular, weren't like open to vaccinations and stuff. I'm like, hold up, I don't know if I could like be with a woman, like we're gonna bring kids in the world and you not gonna get the kids, we not getting the kids vaccinated. You gonna have a problem with that? Or if you're afraid to get a child a vitamin K shot, which is essential to do within the first hour of birth, just FYI, because they don't make enough vitamin K on and so on. But anyway,
That's because they cut the placenta too early.
no, not even that. Even with that being the case, there is no, every baby born is vitamin K deficient.
Well, what they was doing before they had vaccines, when they was
They were
giving these babies
dying.
when they was born.
Them babies
Really?
was dying.
I say that sounds like natural selection to me.
That's true. But listen, it's true. We're trying to change that.
No, I think we need to go back. That's the problem. We need to go back to natural selection. Some of these babies weren't meant to be born.
In a way, you have a point. But what I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm saying.
that is true. But listen, but I'm saying,
Plan
like,
A and B.
so like, but I'm saying like these are conversations. These are the conversations that like have been, or these are the points that have been added to some of our conversations when talking to women and stuff. It's like, yo, wait a minute. So like, if I haven't tackled that immediately, we already locked in. Then we come across this crossroads where we just don't have the same goals or the same type of outlook. Man, you got to have a serious conversation about, okay, what is it? Tell me why you feel this way, and let's see if we can come to a crossroads. We can, because I don't want to get us to maybe we can work this out, compromise, or if we decide we're at an impasse, we got to go our separate ways. But you got to talk.
This kind of touches on what we were talking about a little bit. So, how can expectations regarding roles and responsibilities within a relationship be balanced and negotiated?
Lay your shit on the table from day one.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, too many people be trying to hold on to that butterfly feeling and shit. Like, oh, I'm so excited. Oh, it's so good. Oh, everything is great. I'm loving it. It's such a vibe. And then when the vibe is over, you out. That's why I asked them questions early on. Get rid of it. Save yourself some time.
Yeah, treat it like a merger. Like, here's my
portfolio. Here's my portfolio. Does it match?
Here's what I can do. Here's where I lack. And here's the compromise. Same on the other side. And I feel like when you lay that all on the table, I know exactly what I'm getting. If surprises happen, then surprises happen. We know how to deal with that because I know exactly what I was getting myself into. A lot of people just lie these days and want you to believe that they are something that they're not.
They're afraid. They're scared. The people don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen for like who they are.
I don't understand that, because if you're dating somebody, if you're dating a real man who's like saying, I rock with you, shorty, like I want us to go far, lay it on me, lay your burdens down, and we can build something together. Most don't want to say, oh, I'm this much in debt, or I got this going on, or I got that going on. You don't know, that man might be saying, like, I got a plan for that. Here's what we gonna do. Yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. Same for the woman. She could come in and literally change a man's entire life around. You dressing better, you smelling better, you walking around, got like, I feel like if we just put all the things that we are good at and everything that we are bad at, her bads may be where I succeed. My bads may be where she succeeds, and we can build each other together and move forward. But
I don't need no dude coming to me that ain't whole.
You already want a cake, but ain't have no parts. You have no parts and helping it. You didn't bake the cake. You didn't make nothing. You just come in and
I'm the recipe. I'm the recipe. You come to me to get the recipe. You're supposed to come with all the ingredients. Read me. Put it together.
My mama gave me the recipe. My mama and my daddy gave me the recipe. It's hard to build cake, baby. We good. Credit is good. Life is good.
You don't see the stats.
I'm up a few floors myself. I can look out land. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. But you want to come in and you just want to reap all the benefits. Well, he who has the money has the power in those situations because I'm already built. What can you add to me? I'm here because I want to be here. I want to help you. I want to elevate you to feel comfortable and secure to stand right here by me and feel like you can. But, and that goes for men and women, but it's like, you got to come and tell me the truth. Like, if you just stunting on the ground, say, babe, I just be stunting on the ground. This is really what's going on. All right, babe, I'm going to help you.
I ain't
stunt.
basically I ain't shit.
Right.
Come to me as you are. I ain't shit. What you want from me? I ain't shit. Yeah. I can pay this bill and I know how to make a mean spaghetti. What's up? What's up? Rock with me, baby. Yeah, no bullshit. I ain't paid a bill in 6 months except for
I'm
my
running
cell
in
phone.
and out of stores. I'm selling dresses at the barbershop.
This ain't my hair.
What
These
is
ain't my lashes. These ain't my nails. These ain't my titties. And this ain't my ass. Here I am. And yeah, look, that's my head right there. You love it? Like,
this ain't even my leg.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. I swear to God.
I remember.
You can bring it all down. Then you can look at your partner and y'all can devise a plans to make those weaknesses strengths where
You
and
on
then
it.
you get to know each other better. So when we're in spaces and I know you know your woman is weak, you're gonna jump in and be a protector and vice versa. So conversations solve everything.
But the funny part is everything you just said is like that's facts, but for some strange reason,
They don't want to
ain't
be.
nobody do that shit. Nobody
Ain't
want that
nobody
shit.
doing that.
People have become addicted to toxic shit.
Oh, sure.
They want to look good online. They want to look good for socials, but they want toxic bullshit in the background because it's like if he treat me like shit, he care. If he ain't ever here, he care. Like that's not your daddy. I know your daddy wasn't there, but he wants to be there. You should let a motherfucker in. Like for real.
That's
Like
probably
it's
the first boyfriend, and that's what she considers or he considers love. Because it's like if you don't know love, to teach someone how to be love is very scary. People are addicted to chaos in a sense. And when you come in and try to love them, flight, I'm running. You getting too close. He a lame. I'm gonna talk about you about your friend. And the more pressure you apply, if you can't stand it, you will fall to just
crack. Yeah.
I don't want it. And that's
Treated me like I was someone.
but the crazy part is, and I've yet to not seen it proven, that person that applied that pressure that wanted to be with you and you folded for the rest of your life, you want something of that. Every person you will encounter, you want that is your new expectation of what love is now. You'll still settle for the BS, but you had a glimpse of what real love could have been like for you, and you just it was
had zero accountability.
It was too hot. It was too close. And now you're looking for that in every other man. Following him, seeing him happy with the kids, and you in your head, your delulus, you know I could have had him.
Girl, I let him go years ago. I ain't need him. He was so clingy. He wanted to do everything for me. Little soft ass. I can't be with him. I need an alpha man.
That does it for that round of questions from the app. So this season, as you guys know, we're doing story time. So this one, a listener actually sent me this meme on Instagram. Well, it's not a meme, but it was taken from X now, Twitter, of this girl making this statement, and I was just like, that's interesting. So let's talk about it. Okay. So she wrote, if you ever find out your kids aren't yours, I think you should keep such information away from those kids and continue your fatherly duty. These kids grew up knowing you as their father. Now imagine how traumatizing it would be for the kids when you boldly face them to tell them that you're not their
Your mama ain't shit. I'm sorry.
Okay, period. You did this to your children. Because they're not mine, so you did this to your children. I hate it for those kids to have to experience that, but the truth never fails. The truth never fails. All these years. Now, some men will step up and they'll say, okay, yeah, let's do that. But the moment I'm out, I'm out.
How invested are you like in
Sorry
this
about
whole
that.
thing? Like if you dip out after like 14 years, you know what I'm saying? 10 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if I done gave you and these kids who I thought were mine 10 good years of my life, at this point, regardless of the outcome, I feel like I'm kind of locked in at this point. Like all right, you know, I'm it's gonna hurt me for a little bit because first of all, I knew something was up because Jamal ain't really look like me because my lip don't even do that. I don't know where that came from. My
Your
nose is
mama
unique.
told you that.
And
Your mama told you that in the beginning.
you know what I'm saying? I knew
Your
something
mama
could
told you that in the beginning.
I just
So why would you stop your life to continue to be a part of that?
I put in 10 years. I can't just walk away from 10 years.
How you go 10 years know that ain't your son?
Listen,
People do it every day. What?
You ain't looking. You must ain't see him come out. Because I know what my kids look like when they came out. I was like this. Oh yeah, that's mine. Next. Hey, like, come on now.
Still can't come out and vote. So
I mean, yo, she need to be put in the darkest hole that they can find, dig her ass a hole and throw her in it. Like like don't tell him. For real. Like why tell somebody that?
That's some
All
foul.
these years?
Because she knew you would have left if she knew the children weren't yours. And she allowed you to live this lie every day. And now it finally come out and she gonna get mad at you for not staying when you didn't tell her the truth. You didn't tell me the truth. You took away my power to choose. You could have said, fuck it, I'm rocking with you early. Within the first few months, going against your whole family, your mama saying that baby ain't yours, but yet you still rocking with her, you looking like the fool, everybody know it, and now it's come out, now she expects you to stay because you've been put 10 years in with these children? No.
But what happens to the child that's caught in the crossfires? Like, that's an innocent child at the end of the day.
Talk to your mama because she was not thinking of you.
Right, but still, like, to dip out on a kid, like, or to...
Now, why is the responsibility put on me to stay?
You're an adult, not to stay. Not to stay.
I mean, all jokes aside, like, the kids don't, if you love the kids. But 10 years, though, I mean, I'm sorry, 10 years? This little motherfucker don't look like me. He don't do nothing like me, don't act like me, don't nothing. 10 years? That motherfucker knew. He just didn't say shit, yo. That's bullshit, yo. That's
but
man.
At the same time, but if I'm the one that taught him how to backpedal, if I'm the one that taught him how to read a defense, and I'm the one to talk about, okay, this is how you take your read steps before you break on the ball. If I done taught him, all right, this is what you say to a girl, this is how you dress, put on. I done built this little man up, you know what I'm saying, with my wisdom. It's kind of hard for me to walk away from that. Like, no, we're going to see this through because you got to get to the league. Like, the point, that's crazy.
I'm plotting. He gonna take me. She ain't gonna be at this draft day. She ain't gonna be there for nothing. It's just gonna be me and my man. Like, your mother ain't shit. She's trash. Like, throw her away. Your siblings, they don't love her no more either. You know what I'm saying? Look what she did to our family. Now, see, but when women say shit like that about dudes, because they ain't shit. But I'm telling you, man, women don't never have to take no accountability, man. This is a silly question.
My defense comes from and this may be getting into the feelings, but how she presented it in the message in which you read, like, you expect me to stay. And it's kind of like, no, you won't put your lies on me. Like, you did this, and now I'm expected to keep us all together. And I had no choice in it. I had no choice in that whatsoever.
Look how you brought that back around. It's full circle. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead,
I'm not gonna hold you. That's traumatizing. Like, that's nasty work on the part of the mother, for sure.
You got like, a woman ain't never gonna be like, that ain't my baby. She know it came out of her. They gotta sit there and be like, that look like my mom right there. That's my mother nose. Maybe that's my father is. I can't really tell. Let me see the fingers. Come on, man. That's foul. And
in today's age, men ain't really got to do that either, because you can go right down to the CVS and swap and find out yourself.
It was just a dude on one of them judge shows or whatever. He had like 3 kids. He might have been in his 70s or something. And he finally took her to court to be like, yeah, I don't think these are my kids. And they did paternity, all of them came back. I'm like, dude, you waited this long? You done waited like 30-something years, 40 years.
Whole life gone.
They might as well be yours now.
And then
Like,
best part was though, she was in court standing on that lie. Boy, she stood on her business. Like, nah, buddy, them yours. I don't know what's going on with this. She taking that shit to the grave. I'm like, yo, he knew that. Look, the accountability falls on like anybody. Like if you go that long thinking the kid ain't yours and you don't do nothing about it, that's your fault. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happens to you in life, you accountable for some of it. Because you can't control what nobody else does. And ain't no punishment they going to give somebody unless they kill them or put them in jail for you. That's going to make up for it. And that might not even do it either. So at the end of the day, be accountable for all your own shit. And that way you can absolve yourself and feel better about it and don't have to worry about what somebody else giving you. And you can move forward.
For the record, I do love the babies. I'm just saying.
FTK.
I'm just saying, I don't like my choice to make a decision about my life to be taken away. So when you just lay it out there like, bro, we was on break, I was pissed off, I did what I did, and Life Jennings literally has a song, She Got Kids, that speaks about
That's
it.
my shit right there.
Literally
That whole album rock.
the first one hit. Literally has a song like saying he doesn't want to hurt. Like when he's leaving, he hopes the little girl don't hear him leaving out the door because now he has to explain to her why. That's going to expose your mama. And now you're going to look at your mama different because if you do have a connection with that man, now it's kind of like you the reason he gone.
yeah.
And then that sets the child on a whole nother plane with the mother.
I think it's case by case.
Great.
You inspired that child to grow up, buy some podcast equipment, and then go on and spew more toxicity to the world. That's what that is. You created a new podcast person in the future. And now we got to listen to
A new podcast.
She got kids.
Yeah, now I got to listen to another dude up here telling you, these females. You know what I'm saying? so and it's a cycle that keeps going.
Now we have come to the part of the show where we turn the tables and we allow you guys to pose a question to the group. So anything that we've talked about, anything you want to circle back to, the floor is yours.
It's a hard line expectation. Like we gotta have that. I expect you to do this. What's a hard line one? Because it would be communication for me.
Communicate, keep your word. If you say you're gonna do something, do it.
Come on, for agreement.
Reliable, be transparent. So like I just want to be able to have a conversation with you, no filter. You know what I mean? Like we are who we are. I see you, you see me, flaws and all. Because you're gonna see it at some point. So I'm not with the like I like to show you who I am at the depth. Like, cause you like me? Do you like me for real? Cause this is what you're gonna get every day. I'm not gonna wait 6 months. I'm not gonna wait 6 weeks. I'm not gonna wait 6 hours. So yeah.
Okay.
And
I got a question.
You've been gone.
So based on piggybacking off Kevin's question, but how long do you think your representative should be there? Because you can't expect somebody to just come into a scenario and just be like, "Oh, I just accept you for who you are because I like you." They need to get to know you to see if they actually like you. So dumping all your shit on someone, for some people, they might be like, "Yeah, that's great, I love it." But for some people, they might be like, "Yo, I would have rocked with you, but you just overwhelmed me with all that shit. Like you thinking we going to the next level," and they just need a slower pace to get to the next line. So should it just be based on you being who you are and you don't change for anybody else, and this is what you is, and you waiting for somebody to fall for that, or do you feel like your representative should be there a little longer to just ease into things and be more comfortable and to enjoy the experience?
I like the journey. I'm taking mental notes as a Capricorn. I'm always like, yeah, I'll remember that. Like, I want to see where that little thing that caused me that little, I want to see how far does that stretch? Like, how deep does that rabbit hole go? I ain't going all the way down it, but I want to see if that's truly who you say you are, or if that's just something that you're.
That was but so more than likely, if somebody did something like that, you probably were. That's probably them being themselves. But what if you bringing light to it? Maybe they don't even know they're doing it, or that it's a bad character trait. And what if just you saying, "Hey, I witnessed what you did the other day, and blah blah blah," and that's not really a good look. I'm not really feeling it. Is that you, or do you even know you're doing that, or do you just ignore it and just keep waiting?
Oh no,
Because
conversation, because conversation is always at the forefront of it. Like, I look at this as a merger. Like, we are two evolving human beings that are trying to come together, to be together, to make whatever it is that we want to build and make together. So I'm always going to communicate at the beginning. I probably won't tell you in that moment if the setting is not there.
Yeah.
There'll
No
definitely be a time where it's kind of like the next morning we're on the phone having a conversation. I will be like, I saw you do something like this, and I'm going to inquire more.
Now it's crazy. What I've noticed is that answer, which is right on point. The problem is most of the time, two people that equal that same space where they have an understanding and communicate that way, they never come together. It's very rare that the two people that can communicate in that way, like out the gate, will be together. But when they do fight each other, those are the best relationships. Because from the beginning, they're moving forward in a way with which they're being like just straight up open and honest about who they are, and they're open to change. And some things they might even be like, yo, I heard you, but this is just me. I ain't never gonna change that. But I'll work on it for you and I might get better, but I may never reach that point. So don't have it as something on your list that you're waiting for me to get to, because it's never going to happen. But like, I think there's been this like expectation of like a person gets to be a perfect version of what you want. And the reality is they never will. There's going to be shit that you hate that they do for the rest of your life if you're going to be with that person. Like, you just can't stand it. They know you don't like it. And they might work on it, and sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. But I think we've gotten to the point where it's just like, and I'm not happy here, so I move on. Like, it's like a new car experience instead of like, I buy a car and I keep it for 10 years. It's like if you're always trying to replace something once it no longer has use for you in that moment, we just spinning the block for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Sound like me.
I don't think I mind. I don't think I mind spinning the block until I find like
I don't believe so.
not spin the block like in getting back with some old shit, but like until I find what actually fits and what works for me. Because like I've communicated with people and we've talked like all day regularly for an extended amount of time, and then I feel like, dang, you talk too much. Like you monopolize the conversation. Like you talking to yourself, and I done checked the hell out. Those put me in moments where I have to sit with myself and be like, can you do this for the rest of your life? Like, do we want to do this for the rest of our life? And I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna try somebody else.
But you telling me talk too much?
I don't think nothing wrong. Listen, I'm being real with myself. I'm being real with that person.
So you told him that?
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
then like certain comments kind of throw, like when you make comments that like are unsettling to me, or if I was the other person on the end of this story that you're talking about, I don't think I would like it. Example, perfect example. He made a comment along the lines of, well, you could be salty, you could be mad, whatever, because you're the one who chose to leave the relationship, because you could have sat your ass in this house right here. You could have went to that room. I could have went to that room. Listen, you're not going to install me into a relationship or that I'm not happy in, because when I'm not happy, I'm not going to live in misery. I'm not somebody who's going to live for the gram, live for other people, act like life is great, but we going home to 2 separate bedrooms. No, I'm gonna go back to my own house if that's what we do.
Yeah, that shit be wild. Man, I never understood that shit.
But it's the mindset. So it's just like that's crazy. Like, you'd rather live in misery than
you gonna sleep beside me in misery too.
I can't
Fuck
do
this
it.
separate bedroom shit.
Mm-mm.
You mad? Lay down right here. Fuck it.
I'm not very nice once you piss me off. So I don't want to be I don't want to be that person. So B, I don't want to put myself in a situation to be that person, because I know it's gonna happen anyway. Like whether I try to control it or not, like you gonna say something that's gonna annoy the shit out of me.
So you don't have no control? You don't have no self-control?
I do, but when you get in situations, extended situations with people, and you find yourself maybe overstaying or like on the way out, you can't act like you've been a perfect in every relationship. Like you say things, you do things that I got a slick mouth. So like if you say something crazy, like he got a slick mouth too. So if you say something crazy to me, I'm gonna get the
Can't
last
take
thing.
words. Gotta be careful with words, yo. Gotta be careful with words. You can't take them back. People, I think that's the one. There you go. Women have a problem with. They don't understand that sometimes they say things that they can't erase. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't take it back, and you can fuck up a really good relationship just off of one thing that you said in the heat of the moment because you was mad. You know how many things I bite my tongue on? Boy, if I say
Yeah.
shit that come out through my mind.
That's maturity. But when you get fed up with somebody in a relationship, I think certain things that would normally be in place kind of go out the window. Like when you're upset, when you're mad, like you don't always have control when you're angry and you're in an argument or y'all are going back and forth. Like shit happens sometimes. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, okay, that should
See.
better never happen.
It's not accept. All of a sudden, it ain't acceptable when shit
No.
happens.
Oh,
Things just get said.
no. I said words and actions, two different things. I wish you raise a finger to me.
See, I'm just saying. That's my point.
Self
Self-control is
I
self-control.
wish you would.
Self-control is self-control.
No,
Words
no.
and actions, because words are
Agreed.
actions.
Understood. But you better control your body.
You done got her lit. She done.
No.
Be it.
I just had to bring her back to reality real quick. He was like, because you can't make an excuse about because you're angry and you have lack of self-control in that moment, so you say anything that you want to say and then say sorry about it later. Nah, that's not okay.
Saying something out of anger and physically harming someone out of anger, two total different things. I can't go to
For
jail.
a woman, it's not. It's not. Stop. See, look. Okay, so I'm glad you said it that way. As a woman, you're saying something out of anger is a man hitting you out of anger.
What?
No, y'all words do carry. So yeah, like
okay.
Your words can carry a lot of.
I get it. I get it. If I can understand if you're saying like something that's completely like emasculating, like hitting below the belt, something crazy. I can understand that because
it's going to be for that man to decide on how he feel about what you said about him, and you don't know the weight that it carries for him.
Abuse?
No. I'm saying I'm the reason I did the whole hit thing was giving you a comparison to say to you like, yo, your words are powerful. That's why I said to you in the beginning, you can't just say anything. So if you lose it and you flip out and you say some crazy shit, just understand, just like a man slapping his woman, he can't take it back. So you saying some crazy ass shit like that's why I fucked your best friend. I'm just saying that's why. I'm just saying.
Like I agree. Like
you could say that shit as a joke. You could be lying, but saying it to hurt him, or anything crazy to hurt him. Yeah, that'd be extraordinary. But that's why your mother ain't shit or whatever. It don't matter. Whatever's gonna trigger him.
But
women do that shit.
I understand that. So, but what I'm saying is, for the example that I gave you, this is a reason why I wouldn't want to continue with this person because I don't want to put myself in a position for us to get to that level. I don't want to put myself in a situation that opens that up to ever be an option because I can already see how he handles conflicts because of the stories that he's telling me about what he's actually done in his past. So why do I need to insert myself into that situation where it's going to be that? I'm not inviting conflict. I'm not someone who likes to argue, but I'm just saying when I get pissed, I get pissed. I can kind of have fingers left on how many times I've actually been that level of pissed in my life. But I'm just saying, I know me and I know I don't want to be in those situations. So I'm not going to be with anyone that brings that out of me, who puts me in a situation to get to that level. So I'm gonna just play it cool and find somebody who's like me.
Well, they probably gonna be just like you too, though. So just like you got a short temper, if you got a short temper that you can.
I don't have a short temper. I don't have a short temper. It takes so much to get me to that level, but I know it can happen because it has happened. It ain't happened in a long time, but I know I'm capable of it. So I'm very cognizant about situations I put myself in. You know what I mean? People that I decide to hang around with, friends, all that. Because shit, at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of. You know, I'm cool. I'm just saying, it ain't happened a long time. It ain't happened since I was like 22. But that's my last like.
Know what you capable of.
Oh man, I've been sitting here trying to think of a question to ask like about these things, but the stories is cracking me up. I would say that like where do you like?
For me, I said that was new.
No, hold up. Now to that point though. To that point, you ain't been in a situation where you were the one getting hit, like especially as a man. Like, okay, for me and you know, cis heteronormative relationships, like women will hit you, like, and
I've had
Women like have hit y'all? Like,
I've had some aggressive women that try to snap. Yeah, I mean, I did some shit, but I didn't hit them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get hit. Like we kind of. I'm not saying it's not
Grab
guaranteed.
the wrist, grab the throat, up against the wall. Leave me alone.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of. I'm not saying you expect it, but it's not that surprising. Like you understand that there is a level of risk as a man that you will get hit. But it's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the kind of one you're dealing with. But like, yeah, you like, okay, this is possible. It's a possibility this could happen, but you kind of just deal with it.
New York too. Oh yeah.
All right, where do you finally make the decision to say, all right, I'm ready to commit? Bam. Like, let's say you've been out moving and shaking or whatever, maybe not all the way, but like you just kind of enjoying your quote unquote freedom, and then you meet this person, met a person or whatever, or you meet somebody that's kind of cool. Like, what is the determining factor for most people when y'all sit there and go like, yo, I'm ready to commit, take it serious, lock down, structured, let's do this, as opposed to hitting somebody up, you know what I'm saying, to go out to eat or whatever, you know, go do this. Like, when do you say, okay, time to lock it down?
Usher, you got it bad, start playing in my damn head.
Got a whole theme song when you're walking down the street.
Why am I here? Why am I here? Like,
he got the earbuds in.
In the video.
Walking down, I don't know, one of the avenues and shit, waiting for the sun to hit him when he gets to the corner.
Like on a rainy night like this, to go out in the middle of the street. That's how I know when love songs start playing in my head.
Gotcha. What about you, Tasha? When do you go, you know what?
When you don't get on my nerves.
Everybody gonna get on your nerves.
No, not everybody. Like, because there's a level of like tolerable, like, you know, this, because everybody's gonna do something, agreed, but it's not annoying. It's not like, oh, I can't wait to leave. Like,
you gotta spend some years with a motherfucker before you make that statement. Because let me tell you something, you do a good, pick a number over 5. They gonna get on your nerves.
Well, if somebody gets on my nerves in the first 3 months, they absolutely gonna get on my nerves, and
they might be the one though. They might be the one for you though, because they fucking your nerves. They would get my nerves if they were.
I know the difference. Like somebody that I rock with, like they, like even the things they do, which I feel like if we weren't on good terms might annoy me, but it doesn't just make me feel like I want him to leave. Like, because when a lot of people just make me feel like I don't think I could be around you for an extended period of time.
Found my question. I'm ready. Ready for my question?
Yeah.
I've noticed that, especially in my friend circle, I've had the experience of watching my friends over years. Why do y'all give so many chances to the worst motherfuckers?
Delusions.
I've heard the craziest reasons. I'm not gonna hold you. From my girlfriends, I've heard the craziest reasons. Like one thing that I have never like felt like I've never felt like digmatized. And I feel like I have, that seems to be the common theme from the one trash nigga that they just can't shake. That seems to be what that is. Honestly, I don't get it, because even on one of the episodes that we were talking about with the cheating, she was about to spin the block for somebody who won't shit.
That was at the end. That was my fault.
What we doing that for?
My fault. I asked them.
I don't know if it's the sex. I don't know if some guys are and let me say this, because I feel like this could be a part of it too. Because I feel like I've fallen for guys who have a great personality. They're charming. Like you get along. It goes, it flows, it works. Like they really connect with you on a deeper level, but something is fucked up. Like something is fucked up. Like they're not all the way available to you. You know what I mean? But they get you on a level that other men haven't gotten you, even though their situation or something in their background is fucked up. They get you on that level and they get you locked in. And that's a hard thing to shake, especially if you're not getting that from other men who are available, or men that are available are not giving you that kind of energy. So
Drag
What if that energy, you're not getting that level that they're, what if that's not them? What if it's you?
what do you mean?
What if it's that we never look at ourselves, right? If you keep going for the same fucked up dude and allowing him chance after chance after chance, and then every dude seems to look just like him or end up being some version of him, it's not the dudes, it's you. You haven't found you, and so you're letting all your trauma bullshit be making you choose these fucked up individuals that you keep repeating the same pattern. When you're repeating the same pattern, it's because you ain't learned. And I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying you as
Yeah, I was like, I ain't no problems, but I hear you.
yeah, but yeah, if you just keep picking the same dude having the same problem, that's you. Like I can look at my shit and be like, damn, I was an issue for a very long time. Woo, very long time. I recently woke up from that dream.
That's very
I,
true. So it's like
that's a new dream. I woke up like,
it's something in you, men and women, that keeps that energy or whatever is in you keeps calling those
That person.
assholes, abusers, everything else, users to you, because you're not dealing with something. You're running from something and you're trying to find it in them. So naturally, you're going to attract it because you're not willing to deal with your bullshit. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do. Peel back your own layers, clean that shit out, and then something good could
watch what you attract.
But I think a lot of times people do that, men and women across the board. I feel like people do that a lot of times because if you get someone who will do right by you, like it's kind of like they're going to elevate you. And in elevating, that means you got to deal with some shit. You got to look at yourself, and a lot of people don't want to do that.
Yeah, but what if you gotta remember those people that come along in your life, like relationships are in my opinion, relationships happen in order for you to grow. So as you're
They
growing through
should.
life and right, but I'm saying as far as like your journey through life, so you're growing, these relationships that come along that don't end up being like solid long-term relationships, they're really just there for a moment to teach you something, in my opinion. They're there to teach you something so that you can move on to the next level. If you're not constantly leveling up and then recognizing when you meet somebody that's on the level that you can level up together
Right.
because you help each other. Now, instead of you having to go out here finding different people to learn from, you got somebody that they teach you a little bit and then you teach them a little bit and y'all keep leveling up together. So
Yeah, but
I
you're
think
thinking
that's
about that as somebody who's open to that, like, because why people stay with what they've always dealt with is because they might be scared of change. They might be scared of what that looks like, so they
no,
go,
exactly.
no, what
or
feels
No, exactly. But that's the whole thing. If you're seeing that you keep going through that same cycle, instead of looking at it like, damn, these dudes ain't shit, why can't they just get it together? Maybe it's, damn, I ain't shit. Maybe I should get some of mine together and figure out why do I keep attracting the same individuals? Or maybe I have a thing or a type that I'm interested in just for the pure sake of that's a type. But the reality is that ain't your type. You just like it
yeah.
because you were conditioned to like it. You
I feel
were
like that's
brainwashed
an
into thinking that's
emotional,
for you.
like that's like an emotional immaturity. Like people have to go on that personal journey, and if you don't, you're gonna stay right where you always been. Like there's not gonna be any growth. You know what I mean? If you don't take that time to figure out who you are, what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice in order to get there, and sacrifice usually means being uncomfortable, trying something new. And I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with my friends, like some of my friends, like in their 40s, still got these hard ass shits. Like this nigga gotta be 6 feet. He gotta do this. Like still, I'm just like, at your big age, sis, let it go. Cause you all are
And
5'6".
stop looking for
All right.
stop looking. You're gonna
But
mess around looking for 6 feet with a big back.
you're but so I feel like, oh, and you know what's so funny? Because I've been watching this. I've been watching this show on YouTube, the pop the balloon thing. Boy,
Yo, that joint be hilarious, yo.
the level of shallow is crazy. But it also shows you people dating patterns. Like these girls are young, like 24, 25, already got multiple kids. And then they pop their balloon on somebody who's got their shit together. And they're like, well, why did you pop your balloon? His jeans was too tight.
Yeah, no.
I like the thug type. I like the thug appearance. Okay.
Some are addicted to chaos. Some like the mess. Some like the bullshit because it's familiar to them. They know
Yeah.
exactly what they're getting. I got 6 months to deal with this nigga. He gonna dip out, and then I'm gonna be back in the streets doing it all over again. And
Right.
some just
Well,
like they know that they just like it, and for the rest of their lives, that's what they will be.
Yeah, but I don't think we're really talking about the dummy. And I say that lightly, but they ain't learned nothing. They just little baby birds.
That's
They
what
got
they
a couple
like.
feathers. They ain't flying. Let them have their fun. Let them learn the hard
there are
way.
still women in their 40s who kind of have the same mindset. Maybe it's not.
Yes.
It's
Well, that's
women
what I
in
was
their 60s.
segueing to. I'm like, yeah, with that part. I'm just saying, yeah. But, so the older ones, yo, that's some real, like, serious, like, lack of accountability and understanding, like, you are responsible for your life.
Them
Like,
older ones are just those younger
that's what I'm
ones.
talking about. No, I'm talking about but
They didn't
they
get
got older and ain't learned nothing.
right.
Well, in your 20s, you're allowed to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? You can be dumb in your 20s.
33.
I mean, I just wish people wouldn't procreate so much while they being dumb.
Raw dog, raw dog, raw dog.
Look, Roe v. Wade was right there. I still don't understand people didn't take advantage of that. But listen, anyway, that's wild thing to say, but I really be meaning that. But nah, I think that,
Really.
like you said, some people really do get addicted to a certain level, and they like if it's not like you said, chaos. If it ain't toxicity, then do they really care? Is this really real?
Yeah, it's just love. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's how they identify love growing up. So yeah.
Yep, and then you show up and you ain't bringing none of that to the table, and it's like, well, hold on, wait, and then they hit you with the, well, I don't know if we're compatible. Okay, we should laugh together. We got the same. What's going on? Everything's good. We laugh. Everything's great. What happened? I just don't think we're compatible. What does that mean? Oh yeah, I've seen
That'd be the part where you be mad because you be like, how did I get this far with somebody that flips into
exactly
like that and then that's when you gotta look in the mirror and be like, I wasn't paying attention.
That's also true.
In trying to myself get outside of my comfort zone and do things or date people that I wouldn't normally date or that I wasn't attracted to off the rip, because I have grown attraction for people several times in my life. So I'm not like thrown off if like the initial attraction isn't there day one, because I have had to grow and like it stuck once it blossomed. But I have felt like I was trying to convince myself like he's such a good guy. Like he treats me well, he's a solid, like he's a good dude, but the things I just don't feel the things. And I've grown out of that. I've grown out of that where I'm trying to force things, because if it doesn't feel good, if it's not growing, if it's not blossoming, then it's not for me. But that could be it too. Like you're sometimes you can meet someone who's so dope, so great, but it's just not for you. It's not your person. You know what I mean? And I'd rather someone tell me like enjoyed you, rather be your friend than keep dragging me along.
So
Hoping
what's
that
the feeling that gets you there? You be looking for the butterflies and all the, ooh, I'm just so excited to see a motherfucker. You don't do that no more?
I mean, that helps, but I feel like it's a comfort level. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you, I just got back. All right, I'm about to go on this trip. I'm gonna text you when I land. Like, I want to, if I'm excited to do that with you, if I'm excited to communicate with you on that level, then yeah, I know that.
Makes your day easy.
Yeah, like like if I'm excited to just talk to you about, it could be about nothing happened, but just know that like, can't wait till this flight land because I ain't got no Wi-Fi. I just want to just talk and see what So yeah, I think that's a
That's
sign
a
when you
beautiful
get excited.
I see you getting excited. I see you over there getting a little excited.
Hell yeah, ain't excited.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
place to be. I ain't seen that in a while. So
Yeah.
now my
shit got so dark all of a sudden.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Okay, so newly like getting to know someone, like newly dating someone, right? And I'm the type of person, my experience has always been when you like someone, genuinely happens. Like it just happens. Like you talk, like I was saying, like you excited to talk to them, text them, kind of talk throughout the day. And I'm not a phone person. Like I don't want to sit on the phone with you for hours. I'll do that in the beginning when you're getting to know somebody, because I feel like that's the best way to get to know somebody. You can't get to know them through text and stuff if you can't like be in their physical space. So how do you approach it if someone is just not a communicator, like they're not a texter. They might call you every now and again. But they're more of a like, hey, pull up. I made dinner. But if they leave out of town and you can't just pull up or can't just see them in person, the communication gets spotty.
Y'all not shaking y'all heads. Y'all not shaking y'all heads. No, that's no. That's red flag. Is like a big red flag.
It took a turn for me because I was expecting something completely different when she said, "Yeah, that." Yeah. Well, you know, texting takes a lot of energy.
How much
pause
energy?
my game, pick my phone up, read what you said, comprehend the thing of response, and then type it out. This is a lot when I could have got off maybe like 4 or 5 plays, maybe got a touchdown by then. Like, so
Oh God.
I get
I just sent you a text. It was that easy. Nah, that's bullshit, yo.
No,
Fuck
it
that.
is. It's that easy.
Yeah. So I would run. I would run. See, look, that it's right there in your face in the beginning. Like the end, based on what you're saying, I'm thinking the effort you putting in versus what you getting out says roll out. You're not they just playing. Y'all gotta go back. See, when I grew up, it was different. Like everybody, you always had like female friends that would, you could talk to, and y'all need to get back to start talking to dudes and asking them questions about some of this shit these niggas be doing, because they be
Niggas to do
Listen, I feel like some of my guy friends ain't shit either, so they the wrong people to ask because they out here traumatizing these women.
that means they just waiting in line for next.
That's true.
No.
Like sometimes you just gotta put the shovel in and go down that rabbit hole just a little bit more. Because if it tinctures you, have a conversation about it. Be like, look, we've been doing this for however long, and I'm a communicator. I love communication. Is that something that you're willing to work on? Because that's important to me. That's it. I have to have that. If I don't have that, you won't have me. And see how he responds and go from there.
Nah, see, that's the funny thing you say that though. But I feel like if you present the opportunity for me to backpedal and have to present like to clean up my act to keep me in the game, then that means I need to step my game up, and you just put me
That's
on.
like you said earlier, where it's like sometimes they don't know that they're doing that. They live life just how they are, and people in their life may accept them for that. But you're saying, no,
Yeah, my bad. All right, you're right.
Because we can't say we are communicators, and I have not told you what the issue is. If you're
right.
You're the one for me, you want to be for me, then here I am, real relationship, adult situation before we even got to the point of a relationship. I'm saying these things, this thing I need. Are you willing to, upon yourself, change you to start doing this? I'm saying that I expect you to start texting me all the time, but put forth more effort to communicate, and I'll evaluate. And if it's not hitting, I'm gonna come back to you and I'm gonna be like, you know what? It's like another merger.
I'm out.
Business.
No,
this we not buying.
I stick to my guns. If I cannot read your mind and you can't read mine, then it's well, this was fun. I think you're a really great person. If I could give you any notes, for your communication for the next, and you have a wonderful life, and go on. Because then you know that that's just who he is. That is who he is.
I wish we could do that. Like, you know how when you leave like a training or something, and they give you a poll, like, so how did we do? I wish you could do that for people.
You watch that dude the survey after a dating shit.
No, but I'm gonna tell you my survey.
You scored on your communication skills.
I really wish you could do that. Like, and leave that with that person so they know exactly what they need to work on. Be a better person. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us on another episode. And thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to Secrets of the Opposite Sex on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and download the Secrets of the Opposite Sex game of questions on the Apple App Store and play from home. See you next week. Bye.